Hello guys, welcome to US Soccer Blog. I'm your host Sal Qatar and this is my brother Nihal. As always, we'll cover everything US soccer. Today we'll be talking about the recent friendly, USA versus Colombia. USA, of course, captained by Josie Altidore, facing James Rodriguez in Colombia. What are your first thoughts on this game?
Well, I think everyone needs to calm down. Yes, we gave up another late goal. Towards the end there, things looked a little shaky. We didn't have much possession. But, it was a very, very young team. We didn't have Michael Bradley. Jeff Cameron wasn't starting. Jermaine Jones was playing center back. And we were playing Colombia, which is a very good team, one of the best teams in the world. So, it was a good test. It was a great crowd. It didn't really seem like an international friendly. It seemed like something much more important. But, it was a friendly in the end. Unfortunate that we lost the game, but I thought the team played pretty well in some spots. So I think there are a couple of bright spots. Rubio Rubin being one of them, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, of course. A lot of criticism that Jurgen Klinsmann's been getting is about Jermaine Jones playing at that center back spot. If we are to go into Copa America 2016 with Jermaine Jones still playing on the national team, do you expect him to start at center back? And if so, what center backs do you think he'll drop out? Jeff Cameron or Omar Gonzalez?
I think in 2 years he could definitely still be playing defensive mid. I really, obviously Jermaine Jones is one of the best players in the pool, and he proved that at the World Cup. And Jurgen knows that, so he wants him in the team. And right now, the best way moving forward is to put him at center back. Do I think that's the best option? No, because he's not very experienced there. He has played there before, but he's not very good in the air. And his positioning is a little bit lacking, and we saw that against Colombia. And especially if he's playing with a young center back like John Brooks, I would rather see someone like a Matt Beasler who's a little bit calmer, who's a little bit better on the ball. Well, okay, Jermaine Jones is great on the ball. We know that, but he likes to go forward, and you could see that. It was kind of like watching David Luiz, honestly. To be fair to him, he's played really well. But I don't see him starting. If he were to start, I think Omar Gonzalez is the one to go. Matt Beasler and John Brooks probably won't play together because Jurgen Klinsmann does not like playing two left-footed center backs next to each other. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. He definitely has earned a couple more shots at center back though. But I'm holding out hope that he can still play center or defensive mid in 2 years.
Yeah, that's definitely something that everyone's watching for. Another person that everyone's watching for was Josie Altidore, of course, scoring no Premier League goals yet in this season. And what do you think about his performance? Of course, he netted a penalty.
Well, I actually thought he played really well. Taylor Tonin on the air was saying, we haven't really called his name towards the end of the game, and that's true. But to be fair, Colombia was relentless in the attack, and the U.S. just kept on clearing it forward. So we didn't have much possession in the second half. Once Bobby Wood came in for Rubin and Morales came in from Doya. Nothing was happening except for eventually when Lee Wynn came in. I thought in the first half he looked really good. His hold-up play was excellent. He was willing to take people on. He looked comfortable on the ball. He looked confident. And you can just tell he loves playing with the U.S., It's just a totally different feeling. When you watch him play for Sunderland, his first touch is off. He's not confident enough to take a shot. He doesn't win any balls in the air. I still think, he doesn't do that well in the air, but I thought he played well. Overall, I thought he had a good game. It's a good sign, especially if he wants to get a move out of Sunderland. He definitely needs to score against Ireland as well. But overall, good. I would say good.
Yeah, and it was nice to see a more agile striker playing along top with him in what we played a 4-4-2. Rubio Rubin being that guy, 18 years old, playing in the Eredivisie for FC Utrecht. I thought he looked really nice.
Yeah, he looked great. You know, of course he had a couple of chances, that header particularly, where he probably should have scored. But I mean, he deserves to start. I think what he has 4 assists in the Eredivisie already as an 18-year-old. I mean, that's fantastic, and he's, you know, dare I say, very very Landon Donovan-esque. Um, so you know, he might be the one. You know, where everyone's talking about who's going to replace Landon, he might be the one. He can be that support player for our number 9. Um, so I'm excited to see what happens. And you know, it was just last year he was playing with the U17s. I mean, think about that. He was playing with the U17s, and then he got called up to the U20s, and people were like, he's too young for this. Then he makes the move to Utrecht, breaks into uh, the first team during the preseason for Utrecht, and then starts for them in the first match of the season, I believe. So I mean, he's had a meteoric rise of sorts. So hopefully he keeps on playing well. Hopefully he'll do very well in the Eredivisie for the next couple of years, and then maybe make the jump to a bigger league, to a bigger team. So I could definitely see him being a nice Bundesliga player for Borussia Dortmund, because he and Junior Flores, who plays for Borussia Dortmund right now, seem like two for the future to watch. And Junior Flores was actually with the national team this week. I mean, he wasn't called up, but he was training with them. So that's something, another player to watch.
Yeah. And of course, who was replacing him was Bobby Wood in the second half. At this point, if we're playing a competitive game, who would you take?
Oh, Ruben, for sure. Saho. Bobby Wood hasn't scored since May 2013. May 2013. Why the hell was he called up? Please tell me, why was he called up? He's fast, he's flashy, maybe Jurgen wants to give him a confidence boost, but Andrew Wooten, another American in the same league, has scored 5 goals already. Wood hasn't scored since 2013, and he can't get any minutes for 1860 Munich. Why was Wooten not called up? Why was Johansson not called up? Or Boyd? I mean, they're both back. I mean, I understand they're just coming off of injuries, but I mean, they were both back. I don't understand why he continues to get called up. He can't finish. He's very fast. I will give you that. He seems like a very instinctual player. He's only 21. Wooten is 25, 26. So, I mean, he has a chance to develop, and Wood can play the wing as well, but so can Wooten. So, I don't know. I mean, he's a fast player. He's exciting. He's very raw. But he's not ready for the national team. Rubin looked much better than Wood did. Obviously, Wood had that one chance started by Wynn, and I think Morales slipped it in. I could be wrong, to Wood, and it was a good save, but you got to finish that off. And against Ecuador too, he had a great chance. When we were at that game, we saw it. He was very fast, but he had that chance and he flunked it. So, I don't know. I don't think I don't understand why he continues to get called up.
Yeah, I think it's very important to bring Johansson throughout this cycle, because before he was just a recent player that we only called up for the last year, I think, or year or two of that cycle. And if we get him going, I think that he could be a potential starter in the World Cup. I know people like Altidore, some people don't like Altidore, but we have to keep those options available. Of course, for the past 3 games, we've let up very late goals. What do you think the reason for this is?
Substitutions. I really do. Bringing in Morales for Bedoya was a very defensive substitution, which I didn't really understand. So I think the substitutions, especially in the other 2 games, we brought on center backs. So I think that's what has to do it. That's the main reason. So, I don't read too much into it. If it continues to happen, then it might be more worrying. But for now, it's not really a big deal. The substitutions sort of ruined the flow of the game, and
I don't think anybody can blame Brad Guzan on this. I mean, I think if Tim Howard was still here, we would still be conceding these goals. I mean, that goal against Ecuador, that was just a great finish.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. That's even ridiculous to say. Yeah, I don't understand that. Guzan's a great keeper, one of the best in the Premier League. Well, he would start for most international teams. So
Yeah,
I don't even think we need to discuss that really.
Um,
Go ahead.
so a player that a lot of American fans are hopeful for this cycle, DeAndre Yedlin. What did you think about his performance?
Oh, awful. What did you think? I thought he was terrible.
You know, I didn't really think he was playing well either. I just
I love Yedlin. He was
Yeah.
awful. I mean, he could not pass the ball. He had a couple of bad giveaways that led to a free kick that almost turned into a James Rodriguez goal.
Mhm.
I mean,
his first touch looked bad.
I don't know. Yeah, his touch was bad. I don't know what his individual stats were. Like, I don't know what his pass accuracy was, or anything like that. But it seemed like he couldn't do anything really. When he moved back to right back, I guess he was a little bit better. But overall, I don't think he looked good. Same with Fabian Johnson. He didn't look good at all either. So Fabian needs to start getting minutes. He needs to get minutes for Mönchengladbach. Mönchengladbach's obviously second in the Bundesliga right now. And I think the problem with Fabian Johnson is he's so versatile that they don't know where to play him. So we'll see if that improves. Hopefully he'll get more minutes. But I want to talk about the other fullback, Greg Garza, because he was fantastic. I thought he had a great game, and he really looks the part, doesn't he? I think he could play in the Premier League right now, and someone was tweeting the same thing. I think he could play in the Premier League. So I really think he's our answer at left back going forward. And then we have players like Yedlin, Chandler, and Johnson who can play right or left back. So it'll be interesting. Before the World Cup, fullback was one of the positions we didn't know was a question mark. But it seems like, especially with Andrew Farrell, another player many people forget. It seems like we have some answers there. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a deep position. It's just kind of really annoying that, we see a team like this jump in the Bundesliga, and then we saw the same thing with Jermaine Jones last year, but then, of course he got loaned out. So he never got to play at a top tier. He never got to play at Schalke last year in the Bundesliga.
Jermaine Jones has played Champions League soccer for years.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Well, we didn't get to talk about Lee Win.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I think Lee Win was good when he came in. That pass was awesome. That led to the missed Bobby Wood chance. He looked comfortable. He definitely, he's not going to play against Ireland because he got sent back because the Revs are playing next weekend in the MLS playoffs. But I'm looking forward to seeing him some more in January. Hopefully his form stays. And beyond, I think he's the answer. He's a more creative player. And, I genuinely believe that if he goes up against Clint Dempsey, he can beat him out. And because he's a more creative player, and that's what we're missing. We're missing a true number 10. So I think Lee Win could be the answer, and he'll be 31 at the next World Cup. But first of all, I think we should be looking at the Copa America we should be looking at it as a 2-year cycle. We usually look at it as a 4-year cycle because we don't have the Euros or the Copa America. But I think it's a big tournament. But also, 31 is not that old. Of course, Jermaine Jones, Beckerman, Christopher Milowski, they were all 32 when this was their first World Cup in 2014. So, really think Lee Win can make it. Hopefully his form continues to hold because he was a good player. I really can't wait to see more of him. And one final thought, or two final thoughts actually. Mitch Diskerud, I think, had his worst game since the World Cup. He didn't look very good. Maybe Klinsmann was right to play him deeper. Maybe he's better there because he was playing a more attacking midfield role today. In front of Beckerman, I thought Beckerman had another solid game. And then Julian Green, he only got 4 minutes plus stoppage time. So. We didn't get to see much of him, but he had a really nice move before slipping on the right side over there. Of course, he got beaten on the cross for the goal, but it's a learning experience. Hopefully, he can continue to get some more time against Hamburg, and hopefully we'll get a win against Ireland. Ireland's a very good team, so I'm going to estimate them. They got the likes of McGeady, Coleman, Keane, who will be playing, James McCarthy. So. We'll see what Jurgen does with the lineup. I bet Nick Romano gets the start. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Jermaine Jones is actually not with the team anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what the center back pairing is. But yeah, hopefully some of these players can get some more playing time in Europe between now and February or March, where the next international break is. Were you going to say something about Wynn?
Oh yeah, I was. So I just think it's really impressive because we saw him so comfortable, so confident on the ball, and this guy hasn't played on the national team for 7 years. I mean, I think it's a huge.
Well, yeah, you can tell. I mean, you can just tell how confident he is, and that stems from his form. I mean, he's been dominating MLS this year, and I think he should be the MVP. I mean, 15 goals from midfield, and he has 2 goals in the playoff already in 3 games. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, and he definitely deserves it. Glad we got to see him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him some more. Along with some other players like Giassi Zardes and Matt Hedges in January. But yeah.
Yeah.
Also, interesting that Jeff Cameron didn't play. What do you think about that? I was surprised about that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jeff Cameron would be like a really consistent defender throughout the next 2 years. I mean, he's starting in the Premier League.
Right, he's played center defensive mid and right back for Stoke this year. So we'll see. I mean, once again, another versatile player. He's been on the bench a lot lately, but still one of the best players in the pool. So we'll see how it goes. Also, Ale Bedoya had a very good match, one of his best matches in a U.S. jersey, I think. So we didn't talk about him at all, actually. So yeah, he was very good as well. And then of course Brooks, the only other player we didn't mention, had a decent game as well. So it's exciting. I can't wait. This is the time to experiment. We have the Gold Cup coming up, but I can't wait. I can't wait to see the U.S. some more, and I can't wait until Tuesday, 2:45 Eastern Time. The U.S. is taking on Ireland on ESPN2. So everyone should tune into that. I don't think we're going to preview that match, are we? There's not really much to say.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to preview it. Just, we'll probably have a video to recap it.
Right. Yeah. One thing, sorry guys, we haven't posted at all for a while, and that's because I'm at college. So we're going to try to do this. We'll have a couple of videos in the next couple of weeks because I'll be home for Thanksgiving. We'll talk about the Ireland match, what's going on with that. We'll talk a little bit about the U20s, who've been showing pretty well. And we'll talk about Americans abroad and the MLS playoffs. And finally, the Josie Altidore situation. Because I actually just wrote an article about it on my blog, thedeludedyank.blogspot.com. So if you want to read that, go check it out. We'll have a link in the description. We'll definitely make a video about Josie Altidore because it's definitely an important topic for many U.S. soccer fans. So.
Yeah. Of course, we made so much hype about DeAndre Yedlin and where he was going to go, and it still might be confusing since he's actually not there yet. He's technically loaned on Seattle right now. He signed with Tottenham, so.
Right, and it's unclear whether he'll go in January or next year. It really depends on his work permit. If he does get his Latvian passport, which he might get from his Latvian heritage, he doesn't even need to go through that process. But it's important that he got this cap to get the work permit because you need to play. One of the requirements is play 75% of your national team's games. So hopefully he moves to White Hart Lane in January, but he could be in a Sounders jersey for another few months, beginning of the MLS season. So,
Yep, that's exciting. A lot of things are exciting for U.S. soccer. Hopefully you'll be seeing more of us soon, and everything will be in the description below, any information that we said we are going to do, including our blogs, our Twitters, everything. Thank you for watching.
Right. Please leave a comment, let us know what you thought about the match, what you think about the Ireland match coming up, what the starting lineup might be for the Copa America. That will be interesting to see. So let us know.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you.